Do you think that Black history has been taught well previously? And if not, how could it be taught better?
Well, let's look at the past. I know 100 years ago, Carter Woodson was the father of Black history, and he started this ongoing fight to make sure Black history got taught, in the classrooms. And it seems to me, and history will say this also, whenever there has been some form of social unrest, as it pertains to Black people, there's always been a call for more Black history. So here we are now, almost a century later, and we're still seeing a blatant absence of Black history and culture in textbooks and our curriculums. And so, to answer your question, no, I don't think it's being taught well, but there's also this misconception that they are separate. And what I mean by that, American history is Black history, and the history of many others. And then you have Black, or what I would say, the way I taught it when I was a teacher, and as you know, I was a teacher, you have Black or African history, which is different. American history, the way it's taught in the classrooms tend to introduce Black people for the first time through slavery, the civil rights movement. And it omits, thousands of years of African history. And I want to make it clear, though, that the civil rights movement and slavery are integral parts of our story, and it's encouraging to hear stories that show our strength, perseverance, and ability to overcome, so many obstacles. And I'm proud of that. But at the same breath, I can't help but feel disappointed that our students are not learning about the vastness of our history. We are much more than just an oppressed culture. That's how I've always said it. We have made far too many contributions to squeeze everything into 1 month. But unfortunately, this isn't the message most students get.
Black history tends, in schools and in textbooks, tends to start with slavery. Black people weren't inherently slaves. We were a people that were enslaved. African people were incredible architects and mathematicians and scientists and creators, and just like bringing in that community element to humanizing Black people is so important. And I think it's important for white students to hear, but it's also important for any student to hear, and Black students to hear, about how we need to be able to reclaim our historical roots, not situated in slavery, but situated in community and love and care for one another, because those are our roots. And I heard this quote, I can't remember who said it, but it was basically saying that slavery is white history, and the way that we got through it is Black history. And so, it's important to teach about how we have resisted incredible acts of violence against us, but also how we've built community over time and how we've nurtured and healed one another over time. We need to see representation in schools starting from preschool to 12th grade, and seeing students of color and people of color, communities of color in all different types of curriculum, in all different types of subjects, so that it's not like, okay, we're going to do this drive-by Black history and talk about a few figures and then move on. But like, how are we integrating different types of community experiences over time, but also throughout all of the subject areas and curriculum throughout the year?